Hello students, today we'll start with the third chapter of Flamingo English textbook and the name of the chapter is Deep Water by William Douglas. So this chapter Deep Water is written by William Douglas. He was born in Maine, Minnesota, and after graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts in English and Economics, he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. And a little more is told about him to us, but we see here that it's told to us about the story Deep Water. The following excerpt is taken from Of Men and Mountains. Actually, it's not a whole story, Deep Water. It's an excerpt taken from his book Of Men and Mountains by William O. Douglas. It reveals how, as a young boy, William Douglas nearly drowned in a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame it. Notice how the autobiographical part of the selection is used to support his discussion of fear. So we come to know that in this excerpt, Deep Water, the writer, the author, William Douglas, talks about his childhood experience of having a great fear of drowning in water bodies. But the main thing is that he tells us how he struggled to overcome this fear of his. So let's see what happened and how the story starts. It had happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. So, the author William Douglas, he himself is the narrator in this excerpt. He tells us that when he was hardly 10 or 11 years old, he decided that he should learn to swim. There was a pool at the YMCA in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. So he found that the YMCA pool was a better place to learn to swim. The Yakima river was treacherous. Treacherous means dangerous. Mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of each drowning in the river. So he was continuously told about the drowning cases in the river Yakima about his mother, but the YMCA pool was safe. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, and while it was 9 feet deep at the other end, the drop was gradual. So the drop of the depth of the pool was very gradual. It was made to go deeper gradually, so it was quite safe to learn swimming over there. I got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and did it. So he said that he was having a pair of water wings, means water bags, which are worn by the new learners who want to learn swimming. So he was wearing those water wings and he didn't want to go naked into the water because he was very skinny boy, but he overcame his pride and went near the water. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water. Aversion means dislike to the water when I was in it. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old and father took me to the beach in California. He and I stood together in the surf. I hung onto him, yet the waves knocked me down and swept over me. So what happened that since the beginning he disliked to go near the water. Why? There was one reason. Because when he was hardly 3 or 4 years old, his father had taken him to a beach in California. And there, when he was trying to swim along with his father, he happened to swept over by a huge wave of water. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed, but there was terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. So what happened that his father laughed upon him because he was a child and he was simply swept over by a wave. But that was the moment when a deep fear went inside him because he was not able to breathe when he was covered with water. So since then he started fearing water. My introduction to the YMCA swimming pool revived unpleasant memories and stirred childish fears. So, when he went to the YMCA pool, once again all those memories of having a fearful experience with water once again revived. But in the little while I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. Aping means copying them. So he tried to overcome his childhood fear and he gathered his confidence and started learning swimming because he was seeing other boys also doing the same thing and he started copying them. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and was just beginning to feel at ease in the water when the misadventure happened. So, in 2 or 3 days, he became very much easy and started learning swimming, and a little of his fear had gone, but at the same moment, some misadventure, some mishap happened to him. I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet, the water was still, and the tiled bottom was as white and clean as a bathtub. I was timid about going in alone, so I sat on the side of the pool to wait for others. So what happened that when he went near the pool, there was no one over there. The water was very clear like a bathtub, and he was not able to gather his courage to get into the water all alone, so he started waiting for others sitting on the side of the pool. I had not been there long when in came a big bruiser of a boy, probably 18 years old. He had thick hair on his chest. He was a beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. He yelled, "Hi, skinny. How would you like to be ducked?" So when he was waiting for other boys, he saw that one big and sturdy boy of 18 years came over there, and he was although looking very handsome because his body was very well formed with muscles, and he shouted upon him that, "Hi, skinny." He called him a skinny boy. "And how would you feel if I duck you into the water?" Means push you into the water. With that, he picked me up and tossed me into the deep end. I landed in a sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom. So, at that moment only, that sturdy boy picked up the author and threw him into the water. Because he was not accustomed to swim in water, he swallowed a little water and he went to the bottom of the water because he did not know how to swim. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. On the way down, I planned when my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. So, although he tried his best, so he planned within a moment that when he will get to the bottom, he will hit the bottom with his feet and come on the surface, and he would like to paddle to come to the edge of the pool. It seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more like 90, and before I touched bottom, my lungs were ready to burst. But when my feet hit bottom, I summoned all my strength and made what I thought was a great spring upwards. So as soon as he hit the bottom, he hit it strongly and tried to come to the surface. I imagined I would bob to the surface like a cock. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes and saw nothing. So he imagined that when he will hit the bottom forcibly, he will come to the surface like a cock. But what happened actually? That he came up very slowly, and when he opened his eyes, he could see nothing. So when he opened his eyes, he could see nothing except for a dirty yellow colored water. Tinge means slightly. I grew panically. I reached up as if to grab a rope, and my hands clutched only at water. So he wanted to catch a rope around him, but there was nothing around him except for water. I was suffocating and tried to yell, but no sound came out. Then my eyes and nose came out of the water, but not my mouth. So he tried to shout, but because he was inside the water, he could not shout. And when he tried hard, his only eyes and nose came up, but he could not bring his mouth out. I flailed at the surface of the water, means he was beating the surface of the water rapidly with his hands and feet. Swallowed and choked, but he could not do anything. Instead, he swallowed some water and he was choked. I tried to bring my legs up, but then they hung as dead weights, paralyzed and rigid. He wanted to move his hands and feet, but his body became almost paralyzed. A great force was pulling me under. I screamed, but only the water heard me. I had started on the long journey back to the bottom of the pool. So because he was not able to move his hands and feet, and he was once again getting down and down inside the water. I struck at the water as I went down, expending my strength as one in a nightmare's fight, an irresistible force. I had lost all my breath, my lungs ached, my head throbbed, I was getting dizzy. So because he was trying very hard to come out of the water, but instead of all his efforts, he was not coming out, he was not coming even up on the surface of the water. So all his body started getting very tired. His lungs were aching, his head was aching a lot, and he was getting dizzy, means he was getting almost imbalanced, he was not in his conscious. But I remembered the strategy. I would spring from the bottom to the pool and come like a cork to the surface. I would lie flat on the water, strike out with my arms, thrash with my legs, then I would get to the edge of the pool and be safe. So the same strategy he wanted to follow, that he would hit the bottom with his feet and he would move his hands and feet, he would come to the surface, he would lie on the surface and he would try to come to the surface and would try to swim to the edges of the pool to become safe. I went down endlessly. I opened my eyes. Nothing but water with a yellow glow, dark water that one could not see through. And then sheer, stark terror, means completely, only, very much great terror seized me. Terror that knows no understanding, terror that knows no control, terror that no one can understand who has not experienced it. So at that time he was experiencing that complete and very much great terror which has no understanding, which has no control, and only that person can understand it who had experienced it. I was shaking underwater. I was paralyzed underwater, stiff, rigid with fear. So he was shrieking because he wanted to live and he was not able to breathe inside water. So he was shrieking, shouting, screaming, and his body got paralyzed because he was doing all his efforts to come up. But his body became stiff, rigid, and he was very much in fear. Even the screams in my throat were frozen. So he was so greatly tired that even he could not scream anymore. Only my heart and the pounding in my head said that I was still alive. So he was simply feeling that he was alive, otherwise all his strength had gone. And then, in the midst of the terror, came a touch of reason. I must remember to jump when I hit the bottom. So he was reminding himself that he had to hit the bottom as soon as he reached. At last, I felt the tiles under me. My toes reached out as if to grab them. I jumped with everything I had. So when he went inside the water and he happened to touch the bottom, he put all his efforts to hit it. But the jump made no difference. The water was still around me. I looked for ropes, ladders, water wings, nothing but water. So he tried all his efforts to jump and come up to the surface of the water, but it was all useless because he was still inside the water. Now he was trying to grab something, but he was not finding anything, only water was all around him. A mass of yellow water held me. Stark terror took an even deeper hold on me, like a great charge of electricity. I shook and trembled with fright. My arms wouldn't move, my legs wouldn't move. I tried to call for help, to call for mother. Nothing happened. So once again, he was surrounded by water. He was in great fear. He was suffering a lot, and he tried to shout, he tried to scream, he tried to call his mother's name, but nothing happened because he was inside the water, and inside water nothing could happen. Even he could not move his legs and arms. He was so much tired because he did not know how to swim.